That's how the cookie crumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wrong movie. Sorry.
I thought we were talking about muffins.
Everybody, we exist.
Hello.
No,
Yeah.
it's cupcakes.
Yes, we're back. We had an extended absence. Sorry.
Yeah, that was
my
a long
apologies.
absence.
My computer had. Hey, it was.
It was my fault too.
And mine. I had con.
I had a new family addition.
Meteor has baby.
New baby.
We now have a Tig.
Yes. Who's adorable and cute.
Yep.
He is very.
Yes.
So welcome to our 11th full session of In the Demon's Grasp, or D&D
Severed
here
Fang
with
just
everybody.
resubscribed for 27 months.
I know it's been a
Why
while,
don't
so I will
moths ever
give
get bored?
a very
They're
short and
always
sweet
fluttering about.
recap of last session. Crabs. Oh no, there's crabs. Oh wait, they're crabs. Okay, they're good. Moving on.
They're
Everyone
fighting
sleeps,
crabs.
except Naya.
Crab people.
Yeah, and Naya did make an effort to check the ticking time nuclear bomb that she keeps in the haversack.
Yes, our crystal shards.
And when we last left off, everybody had just awoken for the day. The am I counting right?
Now, OBS remembered my window size, but it forgot my audio source, so it's fixed now.
Yeah.
Audio
the four
check.
that slept.
Meteor.
Yes, everyone audio check.
What do you
Audio
need?
check.
We also need to do a live
Well, I
check to
think
make sure everyone's
I think my
actually
mic is not
live.
working.
Yeah, are
on
you
my
live,
screen.
Meteor?
I am live, but
Is your mic working,
You sure?
Meteor?
now it is.
Beautiful.
Yay! Right.
Audio and live
Everybody
check
look
done.
at OBS and make sure your audio levels are moving.
Pardon me.
They are.
We are totes
What-
professional.
Was your mic
Are
actually
you
off?
moving?
Yes,
I
my
think
mic
it's
was
moving.
actually off.
Oh, that was a good thing for audio checks.
Good job, Allie.
Oh boy, stars! I didn't think that was actually going to happen.
Yep. I mean, that's us.
Well,
It
this
wouldn't
has
be us
happened with
without
me
us.
and Meteor quite often.
Yeah, I think my side mostly heard the intro. I think they only lost. I think they heard it come in when Firedale was saying crabs, crabs, crabs,
Yep.
which
crabs,
is
crabs,
fantastic.
crabs. Yep. So that was the recap of last time. Was crabs, crabs, crabs. Oh, crabs. Okay, meh. Moving on. Everybody sleeps except Naya. Everybody had very, very nice dreams. Woke up, and that's where we start.
Severed,
Yeesh.
I love the pun.
So everybody woke up. The four that slept, Midnight, Kalina, Phelan, and Colfax, had a very vivid dream. However, you were not in control of it, but you did see yourselves enjoying food and everything else. But you remember every bit of it. You had idle conversation discussing what had happened, and Naya, of course, resisted the urge to sleep. And when you all awoke, you felt like you had the best sleep ever, like you had slept for days and were totally energized and up and at 'em and everything else. Like you just feel like you have more energy today.
Okie dokie.
And so you awaken for the morning. What are y'all going to do for food?
Eat.
What are we gonna do for food?
Rations.
We do have rations.
Or I could do a good berry again. Up to
that
you
is also
guys.
an option.
I'm good with
Up
whatever.
to you. It's your spell slot.
Can everybody please give me a perception check?
Yeah.
No, it's illegal.
17?
Perception, my brain is not working.
8.
There.
D20 plus your wisdom modifier.
That was a good acrobatics there, Allie.
Oh, my test
Beautiful.
roll to make sure
Yes.
everything's connected.
My perception's not great. Apparently, I might need glasses.
Naya always has such good rolls when it matters. Okay, Naya and Althemia, you notice two specific things. as you all are going about preparing for your morning and everything else, you notice that Drima is kind of looking longingly towards the road where y'all are going. Nothing really out of place there. She's just lost in thought. You don't see a good boy, and you also are noticeably fairyless.
Oh,
Oh, the fairies are gone?
Were they gone when I woke up from my trance?
They were.
Huh.
Did midnight, or not midnight,
Did
princess.
princess?
see them go?
Give me a perception check for Princess.
What
I always
princess?
forget Princess. I apologize.
That would be wisdom, right? Yeah. 18.
No.
Okay.
That's a little worrying.
And I counted yours from when you were in your trance. They're not.
Okay.
So you don't have to go back and say, did you realize it from your trance?
No, I figured you'd already.
So no, Princess does not know where the fairies went or where Good Boy went.
Well,
Okay.
where'd all the tagalongs go? I swear they were here before.
I'm sad. I miss them. They're so cute.
So Naya's gonna go over to Drumma
Uh-huh.
and try to get her attention and be like, "Did you see where they went?"
She seems to be lost in thought, staring in the distance.
Probably looking for Good Boy. Because you
Mhm.
said Good
She
Boy's
is
gone.
not moving and she's not blinking.
Okay.
Midnight's gonna poke her in the face. Just like right between the eyes.
Gonna poke her in the face right between the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere that she would blink by instinct.
Mhm. Give me a moment. I
Good
have to
idea.
look something up. Do. I'm looking. Please, if you don't mind, give me either an intelligence or an investigation check.
Okay.
This is OC stuff, so don't go haywire, everybody.
5.
Okay. She does not respond to your pokages.
Okay. I just keep poking her in the face over and over.
She does not. Everybody else can obviously see this going on.
Can I
Midnight
try to?
is. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say, can I try to put a hand on her shoulder?
You can.
Is she
If you
there?
would, please give me an investigation intelligence check.
I'm assuming she's not there. I'm just poking an illusion.
15.
You put your hand on her shoulder, and she doesn't seem to respond.
How are her hands positioned?
She has them crossed in her lap. Like
Oh, no.
her fingers, one set of fingers are on top of the other. You know, her hands are there. She's not like clasping or anything like that.
Can I try to hold one of her hands?
You can attempt to.
Because I was gonna pour out some of the glass beads into her hand and try to. Like Naya was thinking, okay, maybe she's disassociating. Maybe she needs to have touch to ground her to come back. And so she was gonna try to put something in her hands.
Yeah, they're on top of each other facing downward, so you will have to lift her hand if you want
Okay.
to face upward. You attempt to do so, and her hand is as heavy as stone as if you can't move it.
Ha.
After
You
a
feel
minute,
like very statuesque.
after a minute of having poked her in the face,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just hold up one of my hands and start readying an Eldritch Blast.
Uh-huh.
Midnight, don't
And
you
I'm
dare
gonna,
hurt Drema!
I'm gonna like hold it up to her face as if I'm gonna.
Yeah, everybody
shoot
else
off
is
at
seeing
her.
this go on, so
Midnight?
And then, like at the last second, I'm gonna fire it over her shoulder.
there is no response to your Eldritch Blast.
Guys, her hand is really heavy and hard to move. I can't
Still
move
feels warm though.
What's going on with Drema?
it. I don't know. She's completely unresponsive and her limbs feel heavier than they should.
Yeah, as if you can't move her hand whatsoever.
Like I can't move her.
I'm just gonna go, Drema!
You cut out, Nene.
I was gonna yell Drema,
Okay.
but apparently my mic is
Yelled
stopping
so
it.
loud. Not
Your
only
mic,
did
your
she
mic
not
said,
hear
"I don't know
everyone
that
else
pitch."
Yep.
So she does
Basically
not
yelling
respond
Drema.
to your calls.
Also, where's Good Boy?
Where are the fairies?
Oh, I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Can I roll
Where's
a
the
check?
bunny?
Can I roll a check to try to see if I see any
Bunny.
tracks?
You certainly can.
Can I
What
assist?
are you talking about?
You
Why do
certainly
I
can.
roll?
Colfax is just running around sticking his head in bushes,
Okay,
yelling
if
out
you want to
bunny.
assist, give me a roll. You just need a 10 or better, and that will give her advantage.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll my survival to figure out if she gets advantage.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm gonna help look
Uh.
for the bunny.
Okay.
17.
So she has been assisted, so Phelan
Okay.
can roll survival with advantage.
Okay.
Roll
I
again.
clicked
Do you have
with advantage and it still didn't do it twice.
It's
Roll
okay,
again.
Roll it again.
Yeah, just roll it a
Okay.
second time.
Wow.
Oh no!
Oh
Big
dear.
time roll. Big
You
time
don't
rolls.
see any tracks, any obvious tracks of a certain ward canine's paw leading anywhere.
Do Colfax and I find a bunny?
Colfax will need to roll a perception check if you want to look around to see if you notice anything.
I have a terrible
And I'm
idea.
helping him.
I have
Okay,
a
go
thought.
ahead and give me a roll.
He did.
I
I'm
have
not helping very well.
I have a thought. If there's
You
no
see no bunny.
tracks,
Oh, I think there's a bunny right there.
Can I?
Oh wait,
no, it's
no,
it's
it's
way
wrong.
late. Oh,
Hold on. Let's hear what Banana's
Okay.
character has a thought of.
Yeah.
Good.
are we awake? There's no tracks. She's not responding. Are we the problem?
I'm pretty sure I never went to sleep.
Midnight slaps herself.
Did that
Hard.
help?
Please give me an investigation or intelligence check.
Let's do intelligence this time.
Can I offer guidance?
3.
You
Oh, it's
certainly
too
can.
late now. It wouldn't matter.
You slap
I
yourself.
think
and
I'm
it
asleep.
It stings a little bit.
Ow! Sleeping hurts.
So I don't think we're the problem.
Colfax just kind of like looks around, hears you talking about sleeping, and then kind of like curls up. He just crouches down and curls up a little bit like a cat. And he closes his eyes. And he opens it back up. And he's like, "I'm asleep."
You open your eyes back up, Colfax, and you see everybody else laying asleep in bed. Naya's laying on her back, quite asleep.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
And to everybody else, you all see Colfax go poof.
Oh.
He's gone.
He just up and disappears.
What just
uh,
happened?
Okay.
So
That-
we close our eyes
I-
or
So,
keep them
so we'll
open.
have to
think so.
split off a bit now, just in case. So
think so.
split off a bit now, just in case. So
Yeah.
Colfax awoke and he sees everybody asleep, and you remember everything that was going on before this point, Colfax. So what are you going to do for the moment?
Me?
Uh-huh.
So I see all of them asleep and I'm awake.
Yes, everyone's asleep. Even Naya is laid curled up on the floor. You see Princess, who seems to be awake and quite confused. You also see Drima and Good Boy asleep off to the side of the
I
corner.
kind of scramble over to Princess and I grab Princess like gently.
Oh,
Like
yes.
and just like
Oh,
bird.
I am a
What
bird.
happened?
Sort of. Not really, but sure, we'll go with that.
To everyone else that's still on this other side that saw Kovacs disappear, Princess goes poof.
And then Colfax looks at Princess like, doesn't really matter now. It's all kind of the same thing. That's 1/6 and 1/2 after this, and you look like a bird. Yeah, I know you're not exactly a bird, but it's close enough. Okay.
So now let's switch back for a
Midnight
moment back to
looked
the others.
terrified.
Yes, and you have lost all contact with Princess. So let's go back to the others that are still in this little zone that they're in. So what are y'all doing?
Firedale, question.
Uh-huh.
Because of how the trance works,
Uh-huh.
is Naya's hair pink right now for
No.
her? Okay.
Sorry, what was that answer? You
Yeah,
cut out.
to
He
Colfax,
said no.
her hair is still white, I believe. Is it
Um,
winter? What was it before?
it was a pale blue.
Okay, pale blue, sorry. Yeah, so
So on the outside, it's pale blue.
Outside it's pale blue.
What's it
Inside
inside?
she's in spring.
Okay.
So it is pink to Naya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in here, yes, you all have just seen Colfax disappear and then Princess disappear. You have lost all contact with Princess Midnight.
Yes, Midnight's has like a terrified look on her face at the moment, and is gonna like back up to a tree, and she's gonna try and turn inward to try and ask what she should do.
It feels strangely dead silent.
Oh no, that
Well,
would be
well,
very
well,
bad to her.
Well, Colfax tried to sleep. Maybe
She's gonna
maybe
cover her
sleep.
face and close her eyes, and just like dropping a ball on the ground.
If Midnight poofs, I'm doing the same.
Yeah, you all see Midnight up against this tree, completely terrified as all get out. And she curls up into a ball to, just deal with her inner demons, and she disappears.
Okay,
And
sleep,
Colfax
sleep,
and
sleep,
Princess
sleep.
suddenly see Midnight burst up out of her slumber, quite terrified. And Midnight, you now have full contact with Princess, who is now panicking because you're panicking and everything else. And Kalina,
Colfax just immediately like gives it like a big hug, and it's just like that's it.
The amusing thing, as soon as Midnight wakes up and is like panicking, Princess would start vocalizing the panic.
So what does Princess burst out saying now that you've got your connection back?
Oh God! Where's I can't! I can't!
And Midnight would, of course, hear Princess talking.
What? Oh, you're back! Oh.
Meanwhile,
Yep. And Kalina said
I was so scared.
That's okay.
meanwhile, I'll be like, "Hey, Naya, sleep.
Okay, we didn't
need
hear you.
to sleep. Hey, Naya,
Yeah.
we need to sleep."
Yeah, Discord is
I'm
not
just like-
liking the high pitch at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
I think
Oh,
it's
not
me
you.
that they're saying it's
Yeah.
not.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's banana. that's cutting out.
Gotcha.
So you said Kalina wants to try and do the same thing that Midnight does. So what does Kalina do?
Where is the? Shh. Give me a second. I'm trying to turn off the noise suppression on Discord. Give me one sec.
Okay.
Basically, I'm yelling at Naya and Faye in a very panicked way to sleep.
Okay. So she's yelling a lot, telling you all, "You better go to sleep."
And then closes her eyes and vanishes.
Is that what Kalina's going to do, Banana?
I think that's what she was getting at.
She
but-
must be in the options whenever you
There,
go
I
in there.
think I
it's
turned it
pick up
off.
menu.
Uh,
Welcome back.
I think I'm going to wait to see if they poo first.
Okay. So Phelan, Naya.
This is just going to further traumatize Naya.
Naya, I'm going to tell you right now, Naya is not going to even consider sleeping unless she is the last one there.
Allie?
So yeah, Naya
Faye?
looks quite adamant about.
I think saying sleep.
Faye's probably going to just. Faye's probably just going to dramatically like fall backwards and just be like, "Well, I don't know what to do, so it's time to take a nap."
You
Does
fall
Faye poof?
backwards, and Faye goes poof, and Faye starts up in her slumber in the on the other side. Quite interesting in what has transpired so far. So it is only Kalina and Naya that are in this camp that y'all set up.
On the other side, Faye just sits up and she's just like, what the fuck?
Okay, can I walk up to Naya, hold out my hand, and then be like, together?
Together sounds good. I don't want to leave you here, and I don't want to leave if I don't know if you're gonna come out. So together sounds good.
Okay, I know you don't like sleep, so together. I'm like very panicked.
She's gonna look at her pendant and just kind of give a deep, aggrieved sigh and be like, I can't believe
I have to do
I'm
this.
going to willingly do this. Great. Okay. And then she's gonna count down from 3. And then is going to close her eyes at the end of the count.
Okay.
I will do the same. So 3.
So let's hear it.
So holding onto hands. 2,
1.
1. And I'll close
Close
my
your eyes.
eyes.
Okay. Naya, can you please give me a wisdom save?
Okay. $22.
22.
You awaken quite upset, and you definitely feel like you've had that feeling again, as if you fell asleep when you really didn't want to. You also wake up, Kalina. Everybody, please take note that you currently have 1 point of exhaustion.
Exhaustion? Oh.
How
Mark
do
that on
I
here.
do that?
It's just something to take note. I think there's a place on the character sheet to record.
You can add a condition.
Is just-
Yeah.
Where? Oh,
Yes.
Is it conditioned?
Exhaustion at the very bottom under conditions. You have levels. So
Yep.
you can just hit the 1.
You feel like you have the worst sleep of your entire life.
Okay, here's a
I
question
have
though.
exhaustion too, right? It's all of us.
Yes.
Here's a
Okay.
question. I go to
Uh-huh.
sleep with my blanket. I thought I wasn't supposed to have. I thought I was supposed to have the best sleep ever's.
That's correct. You normally do.
So it does. Blanket does not counteract this.
I also don't need to sleep, Nene, so I wouldn't technically be able to be exhausted. Just go with it.
Okay.
So now, let me ask you something, Fire for Naya. Is your choice of season something that happens when you go to sleep or the moment you
It
stop
is
your
done
trance or
as
wake up?
part of my trance.
Okay, so
So
you
it
would have
requires the
been-
completion of the trance.
Okay. You started your trance, and as far as the mechanics are going, you did not fully complete it, but you did sleep. So I'll leave it up to you how you want to awaken.
If my trance did not complete, then thematically I did not transform.
Okay. So you are still quite blue-haired at the moment. And everybody completely remembers what just went on.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I did not like
Right.
that.
what
What was that?
horrible.
Midnight
Sorry, I went to
has her
confirm my
back up
AC
against the
unit.
tree right now and is just holding on to Princess very tightly and just rocking a bit.
Sorry, I went to go turn my AC unit off real quick. What did I miss?
Everybody's awake now. A
We
few
all have
people
one
seem
level
to
of
have
exhaustion.
traumatized, and you
Yeah, I
have a
got the one level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Oh, that's what
Basically,
happened
we
now.
just woke up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought. Okay.
I
Okay.
I do
I
also
heard
want
the
to point
screaming
out.
and I heard the screaming and the
Yeah.
panicking from my headset. So I was like, "What I
Ow.
missed in 2 seconds? Not fair."
No, it was arguing with the DM on whether or not we were allowed to be exhausted.
Oh, I was like, I think this is a good chance to like zoom and turn my AC unit off real quick, and then I hear stuff. I was like, "Oh, not fair."
I do.
Y'all
More
I
suck.
like
do wanna
clarifying.
say- I just want to say
Uh-huh.
it's really fitting that Naya's trance didn't complete, so she didn't transform, because she would not be very happy about waking up like this.
Would be interesting to wake up in your spring form after having that kind of a nightmare, huh?
So now she can just be broody again.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and that is something that hits you quite weirdly there, Kalina, is normally your blanket makes your sleep perfect. And
So-
yet you're waking up feeling extremely tired.
This is weird. What was that? I don't like this.
Whatever it is, it disrupted my trance. Naya's just kind of looking at her hair color in confusion.
I was alone.
Poor Midnight.
You had us still, though, Midnight.
I was alone.
Okay, we're trapped liver.
Naya is going to kind of roughly, honestly, place her hands on Midnight's shoulders to kind of try to jolt them out of it. So almost a little bit too forcefully.
Is it
Like a
sad that I was
snap
very
out of it.
tempted to say, give me an investigation intelligence check, but I'm
I mean, I'd have done it. I would have guided myself first, but I would have done it.
so
I think-
Midnight is being shaken by a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're shaking me?
Yes, I put my hands on your shoulders a little bit roughly to try to jolt you out of whatever is going on.
It's-
I think what I'll
I'm
do.
okay.
I think what I'll do
I'm
is I'll pull
almost-
my blanket out and put it over Midnight so the hum tries to soothe her.
Oh.
No.
I'm gonna check if my inside is back to normal.
Yeah, there you can
Okay.
converse how you want to. They have no clue what happened or what went on, and they think it's quite unusual too, but
Mm-hmm. Okay.
they mention having lost the link for a moment.
You gonna
They
be
lost the
okay?
link too. Oh,
Midnight, you
That's
gonna be
interesting.
okay?
I think so. I don't like being alone.
Nana's
Don't
blanket
like the
always makes
quiet.
me feel better, so I wrap you in Nana's blanket. Feel better.
she would accept that.
Oh,
And then everybody calms down and just takes a moment to breathe, and there's silence for a moment. So let me ask, So what are y'all going to do for breakfast?
Midnight's gonna pray.
Yeah, I mean, I've never asked this before. This is the first time I've asked. So
Naya's gonna look around for any edible safe forage
So we're
to
not doing
supplement the rations.
berries today.
I think we should probably hold off.
Okie dokie.
just give me a survival check, please.
15?
You certainly managed to find a few nuts and things. A few of them have actually been stored in some trees by some of the local wildlife, the squirrels and things, where they were getting prepared. So you find quite a cache of nuts and
Robbing the squirrels
like
one tree at a time.
Phelan, I dropped my phone. Phelan's gonna eat her her rations, which is probably like jerky and shit. So
Mhm.
Yeah. It's enough to get you by. And almost in unison, Good Boy and Drimma both give out a yawn. Da-da-da. I forgot to have this up one moment. They both give out a simultaneous yawn. And
Naya is panically pulling the shard vials out of the bag.
Panic.
we have Naya.
Yep.
As they're yawning, it sounds somewhat forced.
Ugh.
So this is something that you notice as they awaken, and you're going into the haversack to pull out the vials.
Naya's eyes kind of narrow,
Uh-huh.
but she makes a note of it, but she doesn't comment on it.
Okay. So are you pulling out one vial or both?
Both.
Okay, you pull them both out, and in both vials, you see some rather large crystals have formed. As in, they're almost the full length of the vial now, as if they're starting to fill up the space. A few of them have combined together and made like little star shapes where it's coming off in different directions. And they are quite large compared to how they did just the slight bit from the time before.
Right, and Naya's been checking them daily, so this
Right.
seems like more than one day's growth. Correct?
Correct. If you had to quantify it, it looks like there's more than one day's growth.
Yep,
Like
Are the fairies
several
here?
compared to what you're used to.
That's why Naya was panicking.
Is this why we felt like we slept for days, but now didn't?
Are the fairies here?
Are the fairies here? Was Meteor's question. Yep.
They are quite asleep in the back or on the top of the backpack where they've made their bed.
Okay.
So Naya is
Backpack.
notedly not going to put the vials back into the haversack.
Mm-hmm.
Is instead going to put them in one of her normal pouches.
Okay.
Her normal bag. Her not magical bag.
At least if
We
they
should
ripped
probably,
the
like-
normal bag, it doesn't
They
create a
break the normal
wormhole.
bag, I can mend it.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
might want to messenger those back. Maybe carry a pigeon or something.
Well, first, Naya is going to pocket one of them and keep the other one kind of palm it in her hand and head over to Drumma. And is going to put it into Drumma's line of sight, but say nothing.
Okay. She tilts her head slightly. She looks quite confused over you holding it in front of her. She is responsive to you holding it in front of her, at least.
So no stone drama. We're good.
She looks at you confusedly.
Midnight is gonna come over and poke her in between the eyes.
She looks quite hurt and taken aback and really worried about that and very insulted. And she rubs her forehead,
I
even
think
though
she's
there's no
fine
mark
this
there.
time.
No mark is left. I'm assuming you wouldn't do it hard. If you
Correct.
did, let me know.
No, if she responded to the first one, then no, it was not hard. If she didn't respond to the first one, then the next ones would have been hard.
She responded.
Naya's gonna whisper very quietly in Drumma's ear, trying not to be overheard.
Uh-huh.
And she's going to whisper, "How long have you actually been awake?"
Okay, so this is where only she can hear, so you're being as quiet as you possibly can.
Yes.
Okay. For a split moment, just looking at her face and her bottle, the way that she moves and her and looks and her breathing and everything gets kind of, for just an instant, a start like she's been unnerved by something. And she looks down at her lap and she just holds up one finger.
Okay. Naya's going to kind of cover it by making her leaning in, whispering in her ear, look like she's giving her a hug,
Okay.
and is
She
gonna pull back after
welcomes it though after
Mhm.
the forehead poking.
that. Yeah. And is then gonna pull back.
Okay.
If Midnight's done with my blanket, I will fold it and put it
Yes.
back in.
Yep, at this
Backpack.
point, she's feeling more like herself.
Did it help?
Yeah, it definitely did. Thank you.
Nana's blanket makes everything better.
Sorry.
My inner self was gone.
And the fairies wake up quite groggily. They've got bags under their eyes like they didn't sleep well.
Yeah, there's a bit of that going around.
They look like all the life has left them. Today's just not their day.
Kind of want to go back to sleep, but maybe not here.
Ooh, Naya said she wanted to go back to sleep. Everyone heard that, right?
No. Well, I want to go back in my trance would be more
What's
accurate.
happening?
And Naya is watching Droma for a reaction to that.
Phelan's not even actually she's not vocalizing anything, but she has the face looking at her like, "Who are you?"
Naya is intentionally trying to get. Yep.
Intentionally trying to get.
Trying to get a response from Droma, whether it be panic or anything else.
Remember,
That one she doesn't seem to react to very much.
Okay. I'm sure Naya probably got panic from everyone else.
Yeah.
Drama can talk less than Midnight can.
Dreama's has had a lot of practice.
Apparently.
After she says that, Midnight just starts walking away and starts looking for a bunny.
Bun
Looking
Bun!
for a bunny.
Mhm.
I'm a Bun Bun!
Yep, you find a certain herring gun.
Not you.
Either
Oh,
give
Vax,
me
come
an
on.
investigation if you're wanting to look for tracks,
Okay.
or perception if you want to see if you see anything.
Are you verbalizing that you're looking for anything?
Yes.
Then I will
I-
offer you guidance.
I verbally say to Colfax, let's go look for a rabbit. Go
Okay.
look for your bunny.
There's never a buns!
I will give Colfax guidance.
Thank
you.
So Meteor is assisting Colfax, so Colfax can roll with advantage.
And he also gets to add the D4 from the guidance.
Okay. For there really is perception.
Yes. Or investigation if you want to look for tracks. Investigation if you want to see if you actually see said bun or any bun. Then
19.
perception.
And then roll a d4.
Okay, 1 second.
It's a free D4, you might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
Yep.
You can probably just click where it says D4 in my display box, and it would probably
okay.
go.
So 22.
Okay, looking around the camp that you all have made, you do actually find what appear to be the tracks of a rabbit-like creature.
Bun bun.
They go by where the fire would have been, out towards the edge of the camp in the direction y'all are heading.
It was them.
Bunny? Is that the bunny turret?
Was it the bunny who did this to us? Well, I'm gonna kill it.
No.
And as you're looking around, you see several other types of tracks that are much more in line with what you would normally find in nature, which is quite different from what it was before when you saw almost no passage of animals that should have been in the area. So you do see several wolf tracks, none
Okay.
fresh, but you do notice signs of animal passage.
Okay. Once again, did Princess see any bunnies in camp while we were sleeping?
No.
Bun bun.
Also need to add princess to this.
I'll have Princess yell to everyone, "We're going after bunnies! I think they made us sleep like that."
I didn't do
Poor
it.
But why?
I didn't do it.
And yeah, I'm basically following the tracks and dragging Colfax with me. I like have him by the hand and just like dragging him behind. Princess's passive perception, investigation, and insight. Princess has a passive perception of 11. Insight is +3, and investigation.
Intelligence
would be,
if doesn't has it.
+0.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That way I have that on my little list here for when it's necessary.
Yep.
Excuse me.
So
everybody.
intelligence is 0. Does that mean Princess is dumbered?
It means it's average.
Yep,
Okay.
it's average for a human, weirdly enough.
Yep.
Princess is not human.
Yeah, 10 would be average human intelligence, and Princess is an 11.
Yeah,
Okay.
so slightly
above.
more intelligent than the average human.
Okay. So not dumbered.
Correct.
So you all forage for food and everything. Again, everybody feels kind of lethargic.
Ow.
I am counting the -1 for. No, normally it would be with disadvantage, so I'm not going to worry about that. I was just taking -1. My apologies.
Yep, should be disadvantage.
Yep, I was doing the wrong thing. Oh well, I will go with it this time. So -1. But
Oh
everybody's
yeah, so
feeling
our
very-
investigation checks should have been straight.
Yep.
Even with help.
But that's okay.
Are
Like
we
I
supposed
said,
to be rolling
I'm
something?
going to keep it. No, normal 1 level
Okay.
exhaustion. I had it in my head that it's -1 to all of your checks.
Oh no,
but it's
it's
actually
just disadvantage to everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just going to keep it as it is right now. So we will play with it as it's gone for at least the day, because that was a hiccup on my part. I apologize.
Yeah. Specifically, level 1 is usually just disadvantage on ability checks.
Correct.
Right.
Okie dokie.
So yeah, Colfax is getting dragged by Midnight, who's storming off to find this bunny.
So yeah, so Colfax and Midnight seem to be traveling. Colfax, are you putting up a fight or are you going along?
Neon.
Nihon.
Oh, did he step away?
He is blacked out.
Well,
Okay.
while he is away, I will say that if I see them separating off from the group at all, if I see any two people separating off, I will do an emboldening bond between them.
Okay. So you cast Emboldening Bond on Colfax and Midnight, and they definitely seem to be like heading down the road from camp, from where you set up camp.
Yep. That way, even if the rest of us lose sight of them, they at least have the bonus D4 from each other, as long as they're together.
Wonderful.
So
you're following the tracks. What's everybody else doing?
I want to find out where the fairies are tired.
I imagine it's the same as us, depending on what made us sleep but not sleep.
So you ask them about them being tired,
Sure.
and all three will mention like a really weird dream they had. They can't quite remember right now, but they feel like they didn't sleep a wink at all, even though they just obviously woke up. Salin looks
The same type of thing.
very tired again. Like I said, they've got bags under their eyes, and noticing that, looking around at each of you, you all do as well. It definitely looks like you had a rough night.
I'm going to suggest that they go ahead and get some shut-eye, since they can ride on the backpack or one of our shoulders. At least somebody should get some sleep. Somebody should feel rested.
They all happily agree to that one,
That sounds like a good idea.
and they look around for Midnight because they normally sleep just under the cover of the lip of Midnight's backpack.
No.
They see Midnight walking away and dragging Colfax. They all start to fly, and you see their wings just look like the weakest thing ever. And they all kind of just stand there and look up. And they look so pitiful as they start walking
Aw.
after Midnight.
Oh, poor things. I assume I don't notice this at all.
No, you're walking away, so no, you didn't
Right.
see any of this. They are running as fast as their little feet will bring them, but they definitely don't feel like flying at the moment.
Okay.
Thank goodness it's not 2 levels of exhaustion. No speed.
Half movement for a walking
no.
fairy.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
So what's everybody else doing? Phelan, Naya, Kalina. I know Naya cast the spell, but anything else?
Phelan's kind of just dragging her feet, following everybody.
So you gonna follow Colfax and Midnight?
I thought everybody was following him.
No, that's what I'm asking. What people are doing?
I wasn't sure how
Okay,
quickly
Colfax
they
is
were
being
moving.
Colfax.
So I figured if they were moving before we had time to process, then I would cast the spell as they were leaving to catch them in it.
Oh,
And
well,
then
if
we
not
would figure out if we're
everybody-
going to follow them after if we need to.
If not everybody's leaving, then Phelan's just lounging on her bag.
Yeah.
And like, hold up, wait a minute. She's literally just laying on her bag.
Okay.
She has her arms behind her head and her eyes. are
Way to
closed.
see it, we have 2 options. We can follow them, or we can sit here and take a load off and wait for them to come back, or go after them if they shout.
Yeah.
Phelan's gonna go with the latter. She's literally just laying on her back. She's laying on her bag. She has her hands behind her head and her eyes are closed.
That's like the only time y'all have ever been this tired. Like the only time Phelan would have ever been this tired was after a certain, sparring match with her, adopted father. When he really put her to work and taught her some of the harder moves and things like that. You're very worn out.
I'm just amused because Midnight basically said, "Come on, guys, follow me. We're gonna go kill some bunnies," and everyone else is just like, "Eh."
That sounds like work. We're tired.
I do not like to kill my distant relatives.
Yeah, nobody else is motivated to kill this bunny. We've already had breakfast. It
I'm not
seems
even-
wasteful.
I'm surprised Naya's not, honestly.
We've already had breakfast. It seems wasteful.
Yeah,
Welcome
but
back, Mihala.
Midnight said that she thinks they're the reason that we went to sleep like that.
Mm, I
Wouldn't
don't think Naya would have heard that because she was focused on drama at the time.
Okay.
Also
Fair.
true. Nihan,
Hi, Abby.
while you had stepped away, Midnight decided that you two were going to go follow the bunny tracks,
Oh yeah, I
and
knew that.
is
Yeah.
currently dragging you out of
Yes.
the camp, following the tracks of the bunny.
Oh no, I was here for that. I knew
Okay.
that.
Yeah, and I threw an emboldening bond on the two of you as you started to get further away.
Thank
are you resisting or are you coming with?
No, I'm going with.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and go about 5 minutes out that way. So back at camp, y'all have 5 minutes to play around with. Y'all just lounging around since you're tired, or
Mm-hmm.
what?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. So back to the ones that decided to head out. You've walked down the road. You're following these tracks of this particular bunny that you picked up the tracks of.
I think
You
Abby's going to.
traveled-
I am going to gaze into my star pen
Mhm.
for was it wisdom or investigation or wisdom or intelligence that they were doing? I think it was intelligence.
Thought it was a wisdom save
to see
that.
if something is real.
The before when the bunnies were making us do saves.
Ah,
I forget if it was wisdom or intelligence.
I know Naya had a wisdom save.
It's the one I kept doing the last like 2 days. I just don't remember which one it was.
it would have been wisdom.
Okay, I'm doing the wisdom one.
Okay. Yeah, generally for being charmed, it's against wisdom,
Okay.
but not always. Depends on the creature. Sometimes weird things happen.
For me, later it'll end up being a charisma modifier, I think, right?
Well, that's for your DC. People making the save against charmed person will still roll wisdom because
No.
that's that spell phase.
Okay.
So y'all travel down. You're still within sight of where y'all set up camp. This area is pretty flat for the moment, as you all are heading, to the pass between two sets of mountains. So, it's quite a bit flatter than the mountainous terrain. There's some hills, but you can still see camp. And you find a slight hole in the ground as you follow these tracks, and the tracks lead into this small hole. Colfax, you would recognize this as a rabbit den, a rabbit home.
Ooh. Interesting.
hmm So, what are you two going to do?
So we just know that it's probably in the hole.
The tracks led to the hole and into it. That's what you see.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. I blast it. And it'll come
No.
rolling out.
No hurt.
Well, of course, hurt. It made us have that horrible nightmare.
We need answers.
What, you want to talk to it?
Yes.
Can you speak to bunnies?
The bunny whisperer.
A little bit.
You can sniff buns.
All right. You interrogate it. And if it doesn't say what we'd like, then I kill it.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
imagining this image of the mafia now in my head, and the Godfather sitting there, and this little bitty bun sitting on the table, looking completely scared under all these lights, and everybody with a gun around just pointed at it. Okay, so you have a rabbit den hole.
All right. So
So can I blast the hole?
Maybe.
Or are you just gonna yell down it?
No. Meow.
All right, I blast the hole with Eldritch Blast.
Let's see. Right into the hole, the top of the hole, around the hole.
Just the top of the hole.
Okay.
You might cause
so,
a cave-in.
Probably will.
Okay, so you roll of cool here. You blast this stuff into the dirt. There's an explosion of dirt and debris and a few roots from the grassland and everything else, and the hole is blown open. And inside, you see 2 adult buns and like 3 smaller buns. Their hair looks kind of weird and prickly. The smaller ones are quite fluffy and they all have red eyes. They're looking up at you. They are startled for the moment, so they are stunned.
I'm gonna like stand over them menacingly. Be like, he has questions for you.
I put my claw up at
I'm gonna try and be as
Just-
intimidating as possible.
yeah, just I kind of look at them and I say, "Hello."
Not the response I was
bunnies
expecting.
meow.
I didn't know bunnies would meow.
The bunnies meow.
Not the
That's what
response I was
I mean,
expecting.
if they're Feywild buddies, you never know.
Thank you, Abby. That
Alright,
was.
it's canon now. These buddies meow.
Yep,
Okay.
Abby agrees.
First, Midnight, give me an intimidation check, please, with advantage.
Okay, so that makes it just straight then.
Do you normally have disadvantage?
We have exhaustion.
No, like I said, for now, since I messed up, I'm letting it run.
It's always
with
just
Oh, okay.
-1 now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just for this time,
And I do it.
I'm going to keep it the same. It'll change later now that I've
18.
realized. Okay, the buns definitely look startled. They're definitely not moving. They look like they want to, but they look more like deer in headlights, or I guess buns in an Eldritch Blast.
Meow.
So you say
Intimidation is
hi.
one of my best skills. I have a +5 to it. Once per turn for both. Okay. Oh, so we could. Yeah, I'll add the D4 to that
Okay.
too. So 19. Haha.
Dun, dun. So
All right.
19. Yeah,
So
they're
12.
definitely locked in place.
Yes.
To you, Naya, she shakes her head no, and then holds up both her hands as if she's forming an O or a 0.
Okay.
She looks like she really wants to say something, but she doesn't look like she knows how to say what she wants to say.
Well, Naya's writing down on a piece of paper. She'll just hand over the quill.
Okay. So this is what's going to happen there. She's going to take it, look at you, look back at the paper,
Oh no, she can't write.
look at you.
I bet you she can't
Yeah.
write.
She
will
probably
s-
doesn't know how to write.
She
Yeah.
will start to draw something on the page, and
Okay.
immediately you smell the scent of burning flesh, and she drops the
Okay.
quill.
Oh.
Okay. Cannot
So it's-
communicate about it.
She's not allowed to. Something's preventing. That's
Okay.
So Naya's just going to kind of
And she
whisper to
holds
her
her
and
throat, and you see a little blackened spot around her throat. That's obviously, charred flesh that slowly seems to heal as you're watching it, right around where the gem is.
Naya's just going to whisper under her breath, dangerous or no, and let it drop if she doesn't answer.
She looks at you confusedly.
Okay.
You have.
I just noticed the giant D20.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
have
so
15
did I.
with
No, you don't.
She looks confused by your statement as if she doesn't understand what you're asking. You have a really good insight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
At least
don't.
it's a 20.
Leave my drawing skills alone.
So you don't.
I don't really know what to do with that other than like I don't know what she was attempting to convey.
Mhm.
If there was any way for me to figure it out before she had to stop.
No, she barely had touched the paper. As soon as she started to move her hand to start a mark, she dropped it.
Yeah,
So
I'm letting my character come to conclusions and also saying above board, but you can tell me whether or not that's too far of a leap. I'm only doing that because I have +5 insight.
Well, I mean, you can tell
So,
that she obviously is confused by you asking her dangerous or not,
Okay.
as if she doesn't understand what you mean.
Is what
That's where the
happened
insight came in.
is what happened a danger?
She looks quite confused at the statement, but not because she doesn't understand. She doesn't seem to understand what you mean by what happened. She has another little tilt of her head, but it's like continue, that kind of look someone gives you of, okay, tell me more of this story type look.
Is what made me go effectively unconscious something that we're gonna have to watch out for again?
At that point, she shrugs her shoulders,
Okay.
and
And
then
then
she
did
shakes
it
her
seem
head.
dangerous? Yeah.
That was the same movement. She shrugged her shoulders and shook her head at the same time.
Okay.
So she saw what did it.
And I'm assuming she was trying to draw it and couldn't
Interesting.
yeah.
So back at the poor, red-eyed, intimidated buns.
Mhm.
So you have these, let's say there's 6 of them, 2 adults and 4 much younger looking ones staring up at the 2 of you in this now completely open topped rabbit nest that they've made. All of them have red eyes. There's not a single silver eye in the lot as far as you can tell, but their fur definitely seems to be odd and prickly looking, much like what you remember the other one being, Colfax.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you 2 doing?
I'm letting Colfax do his interrogation while I look menacing and threatening.
Okay, Colfax has said hi.
Yes.
Midnight kind of side eyes him like, is that all you're gonna say?
No.
We'll talk to him.
Okay. Let me think. He's sitting there. He's pondering like what he wants to ask because he's got a lot of questions, but
And to everybody back at camp, you saw this sudden burst of dust in the distance where they are around them, and a slight echo of
Explosions.
dirt landing. And you see a little cloud of dust floating in the air, as it dissipates around. And then you see them just kind of standing there, their backs to you. And then Colfax is there thinking. Midnight, you feel a tug at the clothing at your ankle.
I look down. Do I see a bunch of fairies?
You do.
I
You see Stalin there saying, "Can you help us, please?"
while still attempting to look very menacing towards the rabbits, I just lower my hand down, let them climb on, and then lift them up onto my backpack.
I'm
or
trying
onto my
to
shoulder.
imagine this sight of somebody looking super menacing and then reaching down to help some fairies up.
They're just
Like, here's what
glaring
told you.
forward, not looking at the fairies. That's all.
So
and I also picture Midnight. Her bird tail turns into a stinger.
You mean princess?
Yeah, princess.
Intimidation.
mhm.
The fairies seem quite taken aback by this, and they hide in your backpack.
Fair enough.
Okay, so back to the buns.
What are you?
You see a nose sniffle, a nose do the little bun sniffle thing. They're still just staring back at you.
Kind
They
of
are frozen in place.
just like just letting them. I kind of like lower my guard a little bit, not
Uh-huh.
like totally lower, but like lower it enough so that they realize that I am not going to harm them.
Okay.
She's gonna ask, do you have like speak with animals or anything?
Yes.
Okay. Are you using that?
The answer was not yet.
Not yet.
So you're just
think
asking them questions without them being able to understand you.
Well, they're fey creatures, right?
Yes. They do appear to definitely be not the normal rabbits you know from around here.
Yes.
That's what I'll say.
So they don't speak like animals would, right?
Probably not. We do happen to have a couple of fey creatures hiding in my backpack now.
Yes. So
Oh,
let me do a little bit of discussion here with my GM. So fey creatures speak a certain language, right?
Fey creatures that have a language speak a certain language.
Yes. So
Fey beasts are still beasts.
fair
It's
enough.
not a
They're also
universal
fey.
one,
It
right?
just depends on
Fair enough.
how it is.
Also, I am realizing that my sheet is broken because it has like half my spells are missing. So that's that's okay though. We'll fix it.
Unfortunately, you won't know if the spell will work on these without
Until you
casting it
try.
to see if it'll work.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, I just noticed that my animal one is not.
And the reason I say that is because the fairies mentioned that the crabs resemble certain crystal crabs
But
from
weren't
the
quite the
Fae,
same.
but these were obviously, not from there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to tell exactly what's going on without more investigation into whatever's going on.
Yep.
So when Colfax caught up to the bunny the first time, did he cast Speak with Animals then?
He did
No.
not.
Okay.
Now, the bunny with the silver eyes made him its friend, though.
Yes.
Right.
And these were red-eyed.
These bunnies are red eyes, yes.
Oi, Stalin.
A little head
don't
peeks out
happen to
from beneath
speak
the flip.
Fey bunny, do you?
Fey bunny?
This thing.
Ellen peeks over and looks down at the rabbit and says, they kind of look like the rabbits from home, but they're not. So I'm not sure.
What language do they speak? The ones from your home.
They don't.
Right.
They don't have a language. Most beasts don't have a language.
Right. So what you're saying is this interrogation is completely pointless.
Starts holding up her hand.
What you gonna do, Colfax? Midnight is making the move.
just kind of like reach into my bag and like grab some of my food
Uh-huh.
and like offer it to the buns.
Okay. One of the adults kind of snaps out of the fear of thing at the offering of food down and kind of looks around a little bit left and right, looks back and forth between you and Midnight and back to you and Midnight, the food and Midnight, and takes the littlest of little steps forward towards the food. And then another step, and then looks back up at Midnight, and then back towards the food. And then back up at Midnight, and then towards the food, and takes another little step.
I allow it.
Finally reaches the food, and it happily takes a nibble of the food, and then scurries back to its others.
And Colfax kind of like just looks down at the food, takes a little chunk of it off, and just kind of puts it on the ground and shoves it a little closer to them.
And the other adult kind of perks its ears up and steps forward a little bit and takes its own little nibble, and then looks back at Midnight, and then up at you, and then kind of tugs the food down towards the others.
My hand is following them, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I guess essentially I'm readying.
You're readying to cast should they make a bad move?
Yes.
So far, no bad moves have been made.
Okay.
They seem to be quite afraid at the moment, but at somewhat ease with Colfax doing a kindly offering thing at the moment. They definitely seem slightly more intelligent than a normal bunny would, as a normal bunny would have obviously bolted at its den being
Mm-hmm.
destroyed. This is something Colfax is sure of.
Yes.
So these are not normal bunnies.
Very weird bunnies. Very weird, but weird in a good way.
You're adopting it, aren't you?
Not unless I want some to.
Sniffer of buns now to the Papa buns.
So
Colfax.
Colfax looks back at the bunny, the
Uh-huh.
Fey bunnies, and he's like, he just asks, "Can you understand me?"
They're nibbling food.
Did you make us have those nightmares?
Again, they're nibbling food. Food has been offered, and they're enjoying. Even the little ones have started to move around a little bit now, and are making their way to the food to nibble on.
And Colfax is like, "Oh."
Midnight puts her hand down.
Lila from chat says Colfax's new best friend.
Maybe.
And says Bunny is them. I'll risk my life for food.
I see the praise bun in chat. I'm happy. Yes. Praise bun.
Yes. So they seem to be quite content with the food at the moment. So Midnight is putting the hand down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else?
She's gonna crouch down
They all
Slowly.
freeze.
slowly.
Uh-huh. I mean, the moment you make a move other than your hand, they all freeze.
Okay.
You have several red eyes
whole-
looking up at you, though one of the little babies is kind of hidden under one of the adults and is still nibbling at the food.
She holds her hands out and waits for one of them to climb on.
I don't know if they
Uh,
trust you enough for that after that Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, I'm
Col-
gonna need it.
Colfax.
Well, they didn't see me cast it.
No, Colfax just kind of sits down and he just kind of looks at the little ones. She's
Yeah,
being
but-
patient.
But you did intimidate, so I'm going to
I
need you
did,
to make
yes.
either an animal handling or
Probably with
persuasion check.
disadvantage. Is it animal handling? Or
Hey, Allie. Allie, be right back.
Okay.
21. Is it with disadvantage?
Yeah, I'm going to have to do it, and that's a good question. Yeah, because again, you're going from intimidation to
9.
I'm your friend.
I agree. It should be with disadvantage there.
Yeah.
After intimidating them.
Yep.
So with the -1, it's an 8. It seems quite afraid of your hand and actually scoots back towards the others. To Naya, you ask the question, and she shakes her head no.
Naya's just going to be like, well, if this happens again, please at least attempt to wake me.
She still looks confused at your response, but she still nods her head.
Okay.
It's really hard to talk with somebody that can't talk back, isn't it?
Kind of, because I'm not really sure what she's not understanding. I don't know what happened from her perspective, and it's really hard for her to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she realized that Naya is not typically unconscious, dead to the world, because her trances, she remains conscious. So.
So
Eventually, one of them gets up enough courage to go to Colfax, though, and kind of sniffs at his leg.
Oh.
So, Nihon, what are we trying to do here?
Yeah.
Trying
We're
to.
just playing with bunnies.
Well, sure, we can play with them,
I
but
mean, isn't that the goal of every D&D campaign?
yes,
Play with the bunnies.
yeah. We're trying to see if we can communicate with them in a way that's not us trying to scare the crap out of them.
Okay.
I think
Well,
the rest
Befriend
of
the
our
bun.
MO is
Yes.
if they take a long enough time, we are gonna attempt to
yeah, I
wrap.
mean, this has been going on for like 15 minutes now. Y'all have had enough time to pack up camp and start moving.
If 15 minutes have passed, then the emboldening bond is ended.
Okay.
Okay.
And Naya would probably be getting up and getting concerned.
Yeah, these two have been standing at the same point. I mean, at one point, Midnight
Especially
reached
after
down
explosions.
and helped up these really small things, and yeah, so
Yeah.
So y'all going to head over to them?
Yeah, if I know that the time has elapsed on the emboldening bond and they haven't come back, then I would probably get up and be like, okay, we should probably check on them.
Yeah. Okay. So y'all catch up to them.
Yep.
I mean, they're standing still. Y'all catch up to them and their important task, and you just see Colfax on the ground and two buns sniffing at him, and
Midnight's pouting, while Colfax is smothered in bunnies.
And at the movement behind you both, the bunnies freeze again.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Colfax made new friends.
This-
I think.
They don't
This
like
episode's
me.
going to be the bunning, isn't it?
I guess. So.
I'm glad you've made some friends, but I do think we need to keep moving if we want to get anywhere away from this place before nightfall.
Please.
I just stand straight up, like quickly. Midnight was bored at that point.
Let's go.
Midnight didn't get to shoot anything, so.
Or snug bunnies.
Poor bunny.
Colfax does not sound pleased.
Colfax wanted to enjoy more time with the buns.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, so y'all going to move on from the buns?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
Midnight's already started walking.
as you all start to get just out of eyesight of the den, you see all the bunnies kind of run away from the den towards the nearby forest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they obviously can't live there anymore.
They're home.
No.
Yeah,
Yep.
they've been discovered.
Yes.
Dead and gone.
Goodbye.
And you all continue traveling. For the most part, you're traveling, it's kind of cool for the day. Again, everybody's kind of tired, got a little bit of rest, but not really enough to really, give you that up and at 'em great feeling moment. And you start heading closer. And one moment while I get back to the map. Heading towards the break in the giant spine there. Travels a little bit slow for the day, but y'all still make a good bit of movement. You see some flowers that look a little bit out of place in this fall time. Flowers
Gyro
normally
_
not
Chris is not
blooming
following.
very much. They tend to bloom more in the spring, things like that. But you see a really bright blue flower that's growing along the sides of the path that you all are traveling along. It has, instead of 5 large petals on it, it has 5 small petals that are weirdly, what's the word? Spaced. They're not evenly spaced around the middle, but it
Can-
definitely seems to be like a flower.
Can I pick
It's like
flower?
You certainly can.
Interesting.
So I go up and
You take 3d10 psychic damage.
Yeah. You
pick the
missed the
flower?
buttoning, Nally. You can.
You were saying I take 3d10 psychic damage for What did I do? Not fair.
Yeah, Nene picked a flower and you took psychic damage because of it. Yep.
So yes, you can pick the flower, and I will try and draw you a very bad image of it later.
Okay.
That you can
It's okay.
then
Hang on.
make
I
something
got
better
this.
on.
I'm Picasso.
So it's a flower with a yellow middle, and it has 5 bright blue thin petals that are oddly spaced around the center.
Okay.
What color are the petals?
Blue.
Bright blue.
Blue.
I mean, like pastel, bright sky blue.
Do they look like anything that any of us have seen before?
There.
That's 4.
Didn't you say it's not 5? It's
Not
4?
from around
You said
here.
5.
You feel vaguely familiar, Naya.
That's
They
a weird
remind you
petal.
of something, but you're not quite sure what of.
How are they? How is this patch laid out again?
They're growing all along the sides of the path, and in patches like normal flowers would be along the countryside. They're not really individually there. It's like small patch here, small patch there, one really big patch over there.
And the patches aren't in any kind of pattern or anything. They're just kind of interspersed.
Correct.
Okay.
I drew the flower. I am Picasso.
There's no no ring of flowers anywhere.
You do not see one.
Darn it.
So
Okay.
Kalina picks the flower. Kalina, what are you doing with the flower?
Putting it in my hair?
Okay. And you gonna go back and rejoin the group?
Yep.
Naya, if you would please roll an intelligence check.
Okay. Is this just a straight roll?
With advantage, please.
Oh, okay. So if we were doing normal exhaustion rolls, it would be a straight roll.
Correct.
But you're just going to do -1 still?
Correct.
Okay. Just an intelligence check. Very poor. That would be a 7. After the -1.
And I'm
With
taking
that-
it I wouldn't recognize this flower either with all my floweriness.
No, this flower is definitely not from around here.
Especially
Naya,
if
if
it's
you would
bent
please
petal.
give me one more intelligence check. This time, just a straight check.
18.
Okay. She comes near with this flower. You get a much up close look at it, since it's now right in front of you. And looking at it again, you just get that somewhat familiar sensation. You recognize it, but it's not quite, you can't really picture where you recognize it from or what. However, as Kalina gets closer, the scent of this flower just seems to overtake you. And for just an instant, just a moment, a memory flashes through your mind of a woman whose face you can't quite make out, pouring tea, and you see several blue petals trickling out of this teacup or tea kettle as she's pouring the tea. And you just remember that smell, and it reminds you of warmth and comfort and care. And just in an instant, just as that image came through your mind, it flees just the same.
Naya is going to immediately scoop up some flowers.
And at that moment, everybody else, you have a taste of really sweet tea on your tongue,
Mm.
just instantly. As Naya starts to scoop
Why
up
does
flowers.
my mouth taste funny?
Does Naya also experience the taste of tea or no?
You do not.
Okay.
Fair, but Discord.
There is not. This is a flower I made up at class that I'll have to
Okay.
draw it for you and then let you, or you can take Phelan's wonderful Picasso there. But they are
Well,
very,
not Picasso.
yeah, or Meteor's Picasso. Again, they are very oddly shaped and very haphazardly spaced.
Phelan's Picasso.
Okay.
Sasso.
Pixasso.
I thought it'd be funnier if I misspelled it.
Picasso, but sassy.
Yes.
Pixasso.
Didn't
Princess
misspell it. I misspelled it.
Princess does not get the taste, but Midnight does.
Naya is going to murmur while she's picking up the flowers. It's up to you whether or not anyone else hears it. Just like kind of lost in the memory,
Uh-huh.
saying, "These make good tea."
Perfectly fine. It's up to you. How quietly did you whisper it? I mean, you're near everybody else, and
I'd imagine she's not saying it consciously.
So more like just talking to yourself. So
Yeah.
quiet. Okay.
So
I'd
then,
say
can I overhear it and be like, "Oh, they make good tea. Shall we collect some?" And look at Naya.
Well, Naya was already doing that. Yeah, that's why she was bending down to scoop up flowers.
Yeah.
I'll
She was
collect
saying it
more.
as she was going to get flowers.
I mean, of everybody, the one with the big ears probably does have pretty good hearing, especially since she was over by the flowers coming back. And
Yeah, Naya has no idea that they're tasting the tea. She just remembers
right.
Somebody made tea with this, and it has feelings of warmth and comfort, and she wants the warmth and comfort.
Mm-hmm. So you can easily collect as many flowers as you feel like you need.
Yeah.
There's no limit again. They're interspersed. There's large groups, small groups, everything else. So feel free to collect a special flower for tea, or however you want to note it on your
blue tea flowers.
Yeah, or familiar flower for tea.
Okay.
Any response from anybody else who suddenly got this sweet taste of tea on your tongue?
I'm just picking flowers.
And Phelan does a surprise, but in a good way face. Anybody's character here who doesn't like sweet stuff?
Not really. I'm okay
so,
with it. It's
so
not like
everybody's pretty happy with this sudden taste on their tongue, and it's there for a moment, and then it's gone, just like that. And immediately after you have that taste, you see Naya scooping down and start collecting these flowers, lots of them.
Yep.
So anything else?
I think after that, after picking up like a dozen, she'd probably move on.
I will say, after that feeling that you had and the sudden sweetness on everyone's tongue, everybody no longer feels exhausted.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so we can remove our level of
Interesting.
exhaustion.
So these flowers remove an exhaustion point?
We don't know.
Or picking the flowers remove? I don't know.
Allie feels like this is Stardew logic.
Maybe it's drinking the tea removes exhaustion. And it's some sort of a weird effect from the memory of the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I mean, it gave me feelings of warmth and comfort and probably safety and security, which would help to soothe.
And as soon as you had that feeling, that's when you felt a little bit chipper, more bright, as if your day had just become brightened.
Mm-hmm.
And
I remembered
everybody
something.
else, and everybody else had this sudden sweet taste on their tongue, and it's like a jolt of sugary energy, and you just feel more lively again. Oh, like you got to choose your favorite thing.
Oh, it's
And-
the star drop.
Yep.
Yeah, I put cats, and then every time I ate the star drop, it reminds you of the taste of cats.
I try to be very, very careful to always pick a food item because otherwise
Yeah, I
it
didn't
gets
know that the
weird.
first time I played.
Taste of
Just like
cats.
cats.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Although it is kind of weird when you consume a star drop and it reminds you of the taste of pizza, and I'm like, okay, pizza fruit, cool.
Okay.
Bun sniffer,
You put galaxies the first time around.
the taste of galaxies. So yeah, so this is what happened. Everybody suddenly feels a lot more energetic. Again, Drima and Good Boy don't seem to have any reaction. Everybody else, there's no fancy look on their face.
I think I want to pick one more of them and put them in my book from Nana.
You certainly can. There is no limit on the flowers you can collect here. Obviously not a cartoonish amount, but you can collect as many flowers.
Walks
as you
away
need
with
for-
like just this giant pile in my arms. Yeah, I collected flowers.
Fills up the entire haversack with
With
Yep, fills up the
flowers.
haversack with
Okay, so
flowers.
Phelan is also collecting flowers.
Okay. Yep. Now we'll say, other than the grass and these flowers around here, it's general small clovers, things like that, things you would expect to be here. But these are obviously weird for this area, and they're not flowers that anybody recognizes, except Naya has an inkling of memory, but the smell definitely washed a memory over you.
No apologies for not wanting to talk while you are consuming pancakes. Enjoy the pancakes. Pancakes are amazing.
She is the queen of pancakes.
Midnight doesn't want to feel left out, so
Pancakes.
she bends over and picks up one of the flowers, and
Uh-huh.
then she eats it.
It
Starts chewing
tastes.
on it.
You start chewing on it. It tastes bitter at first, but after a moment of chewing, it tastes exactly like that taste that was just in your mouth, just a lot more intense.
Deja vu. Keeps chewing it.
And everybody sees Midnight start chewing on flowers.
Midnight has turned rabbit.
I could probably make a decent tea out of this when we stop again.
Midnight likes to
That
test
would be
things by
nice. That
eating
would
them.
be nice.
So we'll say it's about noon at the moment. Nothing really catches your eye of goings on. There's the path before you. Occasionally you see a bird flying overhead, but it's so far out of vision you can just kind of make out the silhouette of it. Occasionally you hear a barking of foxes, but nothing really abnormal as things are going on.
Barking of foxes, that would have been the perfect time for Abby to meow.
The meowing bunnies was still the best part of this. That
Yep.
needs to be clipped, by the way.
I think I need to go and clip that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting clipped.
It was pretty great.
So I'm assuming y'all are moving on from the flowers now.
Yes.
I would assume so.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've collected a good amount.
So it
Yep.
starts to go, and finally, after like another 3 hours, out from under the cover of Midnight's pouch or pack, Midnight's backpack, you see the three fairies poke their head out. They still look so extremely tired, and they look around and say, "Is it okay if we sleep?"
Absolutely. Get
Let's-
some sleep.
They
But of
all look
course.
completely aghast at everybody's chipper response to that.
Here, chew on a flower.
What happened to you all?
I ate a flower. Here.
And I shove one in her mouth.
Yeah,
You
for,
might want to not do that and choke the poor thing.
yeah, for a moment, Selin has a mouthful of flour and starts spitting and sputtering, and the spitting kind of slows down, and she starts chewing and kind of gets a little smile and twinkle in her eye, and then she rips off a petal off the outside and offers it to the other two, and they look at her all confused, but then start nibbling on it, and all three of them brighten up a ton. You know, their little wilted wings are suddenly stiff and perky again, and they look like they've recovered from, you know, a 48-hour shift at work.
Don't need to choke the poor fairies.
They liked it.
And Salin will hold on to the flower at the stem and pull it out, now only with the two petals on it, and then whack your shoulder with the flower.
They've got
Wait,
tiny
who's
mouths.
Just
Yours.
about, Allie. Yep, tiny mouths, big flower. Not the best fit. So other than that, the day passes without much more incident.
Okay.
There was no view of the bun other than, you know, the buns.
Bun.
No other animals are seen other than the occasional bird. Again, y'all hear the animals in the distance. It's starting to get a little bit chillier than it was the day before, and it's time to set up camp. So, what's the order of things you're going to do? Are y'all going to work on eating or protection or anything like that?
Naya's gonna go ahead and prepare a little bit of the flowers as tea.
Okay. So over the fire that y'all set up for camp, what do you have as a container for it?
We have at least one extra water skin, I believe,
Okay.
from the explorer's pack.
Yeah,
But
they are treated. They are treated leather, so you can do that.
okay.
They're made to be waterproof and, you know, somewhat heat proof and everything, so you can do that.
Yeah,
You
I would
have the
just use a
ingenuity.
water skin. I would either use a water skin, or if we haven't sold the copper chalice, I would use that. Because we
So
did have
you-
that as well. Because we haven't had anywhere to sell things yet. So
So you steep up some of the flowers, or you just putting the petals in, or the whole flower?
Here's a question. Wouldn't we have a
just
mess
the
kit?
petals.
Wouldn't we have a pot to cook in?
Yes, we have a mess kit.
So
Okay,
why
then
wouldn't
you're
you
good.
just use a pot to make tea?
Yeah, I can do that. I was thinking to store the tea after.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm thinking
'Cause
to
I
make
wanna-
the
I
tea.
wanna- So what I'll do instead, Firedale, is I'll make the tea using the mess kit, and then I'll use some of my vials,
Okay.
and I'll have a few vials of tea,
Okay.
kind of treating it like a potion almost.
A
That makes sense.
rejuvenation potion.
So you
Mhm.
make the tea again, or you using just the petals or the entire flower? It doesn't matter.
Based on the fact that the other two were just given petals and were fine, and the fact that I only remember the petals coming out of the teapot, I would just use the petals.
Okay. So you make a very sweet, aromatic tea from these petals as you boil it, and the petals, you see them kind of wilting and turning almost to translucent, but they're still obviously there. And that scent that you had over yourself before, that memory, it's just there again, and it smells perfect.
Okay.
And so you've now made this fancy petal tea.
Okay.
You can fill up as many of your vials as you feel like at this point. Y'all can have a sip if you want to. It's up to you. So what's everybody doing before you decide to sleep for the night?
We also
So
need to eat.
I would probably fill up 5 or 6 vials. We'll say 6.
Okay. Just take note of it
Okay.
and go ahead and just name it petal flower tea if that'll help you remember, or blue petal tea.
Okay. Blue petal tea. Made from a familiar flower from Naya's memories. Done.
And y'all are setting up to bed for the night. I'm assuming the same standard sleeping arrangements and trancing
Yep.
arrangements.
Yes.
Before I go bed, I
Uh-huh.
want to check sending stone.
Okay.
No
You
answer?
check it. Nope. You get the voicemail.
How long are each shift, Firedale?
Normally y'all sleep for about 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The people that trance take 4 hours. So the shifts are either 2 to 3 hours, depending on how many people you want to have to watch and when.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, normal sleep time's about 8 hours.
Yeah, Naya's gonna attempt first watch this time.
Okay.
I'll end up curling up with my
will-
blanket.
Midnight will do second watch if you want to get her after your 4 hours.
Okay.
Or, yeah, because you're doing 4 hours since you only need to sleep 4 hours.
You're right, I only have to sleep the 4.
Okay.
Midnight
So Naya, then midnight.
is going to hold up her hand.
Uh-huh.
Princess is going to land on her hand, and then Midnight is going to disappear, and Princess is now just holding up Midnight's ring in her hand.
So this is what you're doing for your sleep?
Yup.
Okay.
Okay.
Is this something they've seen happen before?
No,
Nope.
it is not.
Okay.
What
I've
was
never seen
that?
this before.
Naya's gonna stare at Princess and be like, should we be alarmed?
No.
Okay.
This
Are
went
you
to
sure?
bed. Yeah, she's fine.
Yep, so Princess is just
I'm
carrying around
trusting
the
you,
hair ornament.
Princess.
It's not a hair ornament, it is a ring.
Oh, a ring.
It's a ring that spans 2 fingers.
Oh, right. You didn't go with that route. Okay, we're good.
I'm trusting you, Princess.
Okay.
It's fine.
So
She'll be out in 4 hours.
So after that eventful moment, the night passes without incident. Naya, you don't feel the slightest inkling of that tug of sleepiness. Nobody else seems to be mumbling in their sleep. Your trance ends, midnight comes out, and midnight you feel perfectly fine. Nobody remembers a dream tonight, but the night passes and everybody's awakened and
Wonderful.
good to go.
And everybody gets a long rest.
So Naya, like the second 4 hours passes, Midnight would just pop right back out.
Gotcha.
And it looks like she's emerging from the ring.
Interesting.
Do you have a pocket dimension?
It's basically a genie bottle.
Okay.
But in ring form.
We just don't know in character. Yeah.
Yep.
Are you the only one who can use it?
I think so.
It's an
Just-
ability of his thing.
Yeah.
Fair warning, above board.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
If you're ever supposed to have popped out of it and you haven't, Naya is probably going to attempt to wear that ring.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, if you were to ask Princess, she'd probably say, "All right, I guess so."
I mean, even just as well, do you want me to keep an eye on this to make sure that, like, that when you do
Yeah.
pop out, you pop out somewhere safe, you know?
Yeah, if you ever find it just lying around, guard it with your life.
Okay.
So everyone awakens, everybody feels good, and that's where we will go ahead and call it then. Go ahead and do
Okay.
your long rest, and all is well with the world.
I don't think I actually expended anything, so
Yeah,
And we
neither
have
did I.
possibly magical tea now.
Yep.
It's great.
So thanks everybody for stopping by with this pretty oddly eventful session for
Very RP heavy session today.
of
Odd.
our in the Demon's Grass here.
It happens.
With meowing bunnies.
Yep. with
Yeah,
Nate
yeah,
and-
which were clipped. I saw someone comment in my chat that it has been clipped.
Now I believe next week is iffy as Neon has to step
Yeah.
away. But if we have enough people and people are up to it, we will still have at it. Otherwise, it'll probably be sometime after.
And
So-
Nihan, if you want, I will download my VOD and upload it so you can take it and upload it.
Yeah, if we need to. If you guys decide to go next week and I'm not here, go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
So thanks everybody for stopping by, and hope to see you next time on our D&D session for In the Demon's Grasp. Talk to everybody.
Bye.